internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. $32 XRP is a joke, and it's going to be a lot higher than that. I'm telling you, you could screenshot this part, you could screen record it. It's going to be way higher than $32, guaranteed. And I'm going to go over some valuable information that we keep on missing out, and some people just don't understand how valuable this fundamental valuation framework was. But this will have you on the edge of your seats. But first, I got to cover something very important, and this is the monthly candle for XRP. It's about to close today, and July is about to start. Can we close above $2.22? It is going to be very, very important. If we can, then ladies and gentlemen, July, August, September, we already know it's going to be a bullish month, but it's going to start to coil up, and a slingshot is going to occur for this bad boy. We do have a trade open for XRP right now, which is up 200%. We do have a trade open on Tubit as well. We have multiple trades open. If you guys are interested, the link is in the description down below. Take advantage of these bottoms before the trillions flood into this ecosystem. Nothing can stop what's ahead of us, folks. Nothing. And something very important that I know you guys could all relate to, and when I say the whole part about, I'm going to live rent-free in your head if you don't actually take action and do more learning about XRP, because I've seen it play out in real life, and I'm sure many of you guys have as well. This tweet, only 4 people know how much Bitcoin I have. Me, my wife, my brother, my dad. I wish I never told my brother or dad. So only the wife he wishes he had told. I want to show you guys some text messages, personal text messages that I've never shared with you guys before. But take a look at this. This is one of my advisors that I used to work with. I messaged him in 2020. And this is, I don't know if I was working with him at the time. I don't recall. Hope you're doing well. Thought I would just share this with you. I was pitching them, Bitcoin in 2018, 2017, telling them, these guys are going to come in. You're not going to stop what's coming. And then the Canadian Securities Exchange Institute released something called Investing in Bitcoin, Opportunities and Risks, blah, blah, blah. And he says, are you taking it or are you the teacher? And I'm like, should be a teacher, eh? Just because all I did was talk about crypto, like every time, every second in the bank. And then the first thing he says is, so how rich are you these days? Do you still have your Bitcoin? Do you have Doge? I didn't even reply, okay? And the conversation started up again where he messaged me in 2022. He says, would you be interested in coming back? And I said, something I would be open to, for sure. And he says, let's talk. And I said, let me know. And we had a chat, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I never went back. Didn't happen. And then this year, he messages me. Well, no, I actually messaged him. It's always good to stay in touch, right? And I said, hey, hope all is going well. And the first thing he says, you retired yet on all your Bitcoin profits? It's just so crazy to me. And that is why keep your circle closed, like very, very closed. Because trust me, when people ask you, how much Bitcoin you own, I remember he used to ask me this all the time, and I would never answer it. It's like, why do you ask? It's okay to ask someone how much Bitcoin they own or how much XRP they own. It's like just me asking how much money is in your bank account. Is it just because it's a digital asset? It's kind of cool to ask you how much units you have. It just doesn't, it's so crazy. And I'm telling you, like the fear of just not owning crypto is really going to catch up to people when these prices start to really go absurd. Okay, these prices right now are dirt cheap, absolutely dirt cheap. This is not updated on here, but dirt cheap. XRP is at $2.22 right now. But let's go over this. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about that. And remember, Since day one, I've been telling you guys, Ripple is doing something that has never been done before, and they just updated their Ripple account on Twitter, the bio. Now it just says, we're building the internet of value. This was just updated not too long ago. We're building the internet of value, something that we humans have never, ever witnessed before. And that is why it is so monumental for you to understand why Robbie Mitchnick and Susan Atley projecting $30 is an absolute joke. Okay? Some of you guys have seen this PDF, the one by Robbie and Susan. Two brilliant minds who laid out a fundamental valuation framework for crypto assets. And their success case, they forecasted a $32 high for XRP. And I'll tell you right now, that number is laughable, and I'm going to explain exactly why. First off, understand this. Their report was written before the world woke up to the true scale of tokenization. Back then, they were only thinking about things like cross-border payments, FX trades, small percentages, and maybe a little bit of corporate settlements. But that's it. They weren't even factoring in the tidal wave of real-world asset tokenization we're seeing now. Back then, nobody was talking about tokenizing treasuries, on-chain real estate, corporate debt, massive stablecoin ecosystem, or a multi-trillion-dollar tokenized fund. Yet, here we are in 2025, and BlackRock, Ondo, Franklin Templeton, and major governments are rolling out plans to put the global economy on chain. This is entirely new value being created. It's not just shifting money around, it's building an entirely new financial system. And now let's talk about unlocked liquidity. Mitchnick and Atley looked at the world as it existed in 2018. A world where banks were forced to keep 27 trillion locked up in Nostra accounts. That's dead money. Money sitting in idle, making sure cross-border payments don't bounce. But what happens when Ripple flips the switch and banks can move money on demand with XRP as a bridge? It is going to be just crazy. This PDF didn't factor all this in. And let's talk about the institutional lockup. In 2018, nobody was talking about BitGo buying 100 million of XRP for treasury strategies, institution funds locking up physical XRP, corporate balance sheets holding XRP as an operational asset. That's XRP coming off the market permanently, tightening the supply, okay? A $32 XRP completely ignores the reality of supply shock when big players, come and vault XRP for infrastructure usage. It's very, very important for you guys to understand that. Very important. And let's do quick math here. Imagine the stablecoin market, just two, USDC and RLUSD market cap combined is 1.6 trillion. That's a conservative given how fast this sector is growing. Now at tokenized real world assets forecasted anywhere between 16 to 30 trillion by 2030. When XRP settles a slice of that volume, you're talking, daily settlement flows in the hundreds of billions of dollars. A $32 XRP price would give XRP roughly a $2.2 trillion market cap. It sounds big, but I'll tell you right now, it is not big enough whatsoever, because to settle even 1 trillion in daily flows, you'll either need astronomical velocity or a much higher token price to support liquidity without wild price swings. It's math. It's basic math. Institutions do not tolerate volatility when moving billions. You guys are all very well versed on that. They need price stability, and that stability comes from higher value per token, not just from more tokens. And finally, and this is the most important point, this report assumed that XRP was fighting over a piece of the existing financial pie. But that's not the case. That's not the case in 2025. XRP is here to expand the pie, unlocking dormant trillions, creating new liquidity corridors, bringing in value from tokenized real-world assets, and powering on-chain finance in ways we couldn't even imagine in 2018. Their $32 target wasn't wrong based on the info they had, but it's wildly outdated, because what's coming isn't just bigger, it's an entirely new system. Do you understand how important that is? So yeah, $32 XRP is comical, because when you zoom out, when you factor in tokenized treasury, stablecoin ecosystem, institution lockups, unlocked nostro vostro liquidity just alone, trillions in new value, you realize that $100 XRP isn't hype. It's like pretty much basic infrastructure math. And the fact that Arthur Brito himself said that XRP ledger needs to scale for 7.5 billion people and even more devices, that's not a $32 asset. That's a once in a century financial network. So next time someone quotes this PDF, just remember, just smile. The people who built this knew exactly what they were doing, and a $32 XRP was never going to be the finish line. Way higher than a $32 XRP. And the fact that Arthur Brito even comes out now in 2025, when we are all versed in terms of knowing that the system is going to slowly start to get live and scale out in the coming years, I mean, that speaks 1,000 words right there. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, 24 Hours Crypto, Mega Seafarer, June 11th, 2026. The sign-up sheet is in the description down below. If we don't reach our targets of the general admission and VIP, it looks like the VIP is going to get sold out. The general admission, we have to sell 330 to get this locked in and going. It's first come, first serve. We are trying to put the down deposit. If we don't achieve this in the next coming days, I'm going to take it down. Everybody's going to get an email that purchased these tickets, and then we will see if we want to plan something smaller than the Mega Seafarer. Okay, but we'll figure all that out. So if you guys haven't already, this is the yacht party that we have been talking about for years. It is happening. We are doing it. We are taking the payments. We are about to lock this in. You have 1 year from now to organize this. That is why we lock in the date, June 11, 2026. There's no way we cannot all make it to this. You have a year to plan this. Knock on wood, everybody's well and they're breathing by then, okay? But realistically speaking, I think we all should be. But you have a year to plan this. Let's lock this in. Let's get this going, because we know what's on the horizon. We know what's about to happen is going to be monumental. This is going to go in the record books of us even organizing this before it completely goes haywire. And with that being said, we'll be back with another video.
Dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend, ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute to the calm, to the wise. Salute 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, So here's to the signal, clear and bright, to the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight, salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.